Welcome back to the Explainer. Okay, today we are looking at a toolset that is honestly going to completely rewire how we manage our code bases. We're breaking down the integration of the brand new DeepSeek V4 with an open source tool called OpenCode. And together, they let you build an absolute powerhouse of a coding agent right inside your local terminal. Let's jump in. Now, before we even look at the tools, I just want you to let this number sink in for a second. 1 million. And no, that's not some fluffy marketing metric. This fundamentally changes how we interact with code bases. This is the token context window we're working with today. Think about your workflow right now. Most models, they cap out around maybe 128,000 or 200,000 tokens. You inevitably hit a wall. You have to chunk your code, manually copy, paste snippets, and just kind of pray the AI understands how your modules connect. Well, with a 1 million token limit, you can literally drop your entire repository, your full documentation, and your longest log files straight into the model, all at once. It tracks the whole shebang. It is an absolute game changer.
Here's our roadmap for the explainer today. We're covering the basics, then Flash versus Pro models, local setup, plan versus build modes, thinking mode, and finally, some real-world workflows.
All right, moving right along into Section 1, DeepSeek and OpenCode Basics. Now, you guys already know what a coding agent is, but OpenCode is pretty special. It's an open-source, terminal-based AI coding agent built in Go, and it operates under a super permissive MIT license. What I absolutely love about it is this incredibly clean text-based UI that lives right where you already work, inside your terminal. It reads files, edits code, runs shell commands, and it even uses the language server protocol to genuinely understand your function signatures. Just a really quick heads up, though, based on our source docs, make sure you grab this directly from opencode.ai. There are kind of a bunch of forks floating around out there, but you absolutely want the official maintained version for your local setup.
Okay, Section 2, Flash versus Pro models.
Back on April 24th, 2026, DeepSeek dropped these open-weight models under that MI2 license, which means, yes, you can run them commercially with zero restrictions, but you do have a choice to make. Take a look at the Flash model. With 284 billion total parameters and about 13 billion active per token, this is going to be your daily driver. It's stupidly fast, super efficient, and just perfect for high-volume tasks like, quick code edits or summarizing giant docs. Then you've got the Pro model. This is a massive 1.67 trillion parameter mixture of experts model. This is the heavy hitter. The official docs show this Pro model going toe-to-toe with and often beating the world's top closed-source models on benchmarks like Live Code Bench. So when you need that really deep reasoning or complex multi-step coding, Pro is what you want to deploy.
Next up, Section 3, Local Setup and Initialization.
Getting this infrastructure ready for commercial use is shockingly simple. Step 1, you just install it using a single curl command from their official site. Or, if you're on a Mac, just use Homebrew. Step 2 is connecting your model provider. Now, sure, you could use a direct API key from DeepSeek, but a really fantastic tip from our sources is to route this through OpenRouter. Using OpenRouter gives you this awesome one-key access to both the V4 Pro and Flash models, making it totally seamless to switch back and forth. And then step 3, and please don't skip this, run the /init command inside your project folder. So what does that /init command actually do? It generates this little file called agents.md. It's kind of a quiet feature, but it is massive. It scans your codebase and locks in your exact project structure, your specific naming rules, and your conventions. From that moment on, every single time you spin up a coding session, your agent has this rock-solid continuous context of exactly how you prefer to write software. It just massively, massively improves the quality of every single output.
Moving right into Section 4, Plan versus Build modes.
OpenCode basically operates in two built-in states to keep your code base safe. Plan mode is totally read-only. It shows you exactly what the agent intends to do before it touches a single thing. You can push back, ask it for revisions, really review the logic. Build mode, on the other hand, is the executioner. This is the mode that actually makes the changes and writes the code straight to your disk.
So the crucial thing here is how you navigate between them. And it's literally just pressing the tab key. This tiny, elegant little UX detail instantly toggles you between plan and build modes. The golden rule for your workflow: always start in plan mode for anything non-trivial. Read the proposed plan, hit tab, and then let it build. Seriously, this simple habit will save you absolutely hours of headache and frantic git resets.
All right, Section 5, Thinking Mode and Repo Management. DeepSeek V4 comes packed with a built-in thinking mode, and you definitely want to flip this on when you're facing those really hard reasoning tasks. We're talking complex multi-file refactors, deep multi-step debugging, or, long horizon planning. The output quality jumps significantly when you let it think. But, and this is key, if you just need a quick everyday edit or a simple boilerplate function thrown together, turn it off. You'll save a ton of time and compute by not forcing this massive model to overthink a basic syntax fix. And hey, speaking of saving compute, we really need to talk about context caching. Because we're throwing around a 1 million token window, reloading large files over and over could get ridiculously expensive. But DeepSeek caches matching prefixes across your API calls. This means if your system prompt and those massive core files stay exactly the same, boom, you get cache hits. The benefit here? It drastically drops your input costs at high volumes. Long context isn't this slow, expensive bottleneck anymore. With caching, it's incredibly efficient. Bringing it all together in Section 6, Real-World Developer Workflows. Let's imagine a few scenarios. Workflow 1, fixing a failing test. You literally just point the V4 Pro model at the failing test. Because it has that gigantic context window, the agent autonomously reads the stack trace, hunts down the exact production code that's broken, proposes a patch, runs the test again, and literally loops this process until you see green. It just holds the entire repo and the test logs in its working memory the whole time. It's wild. Workflow 2 takes us from fixing bugs to actually building new features. You can drop a massive, highly detailed requirement specification document directly into your terminal. Using that lightning-fast Flash model, OpenCode will map out the work, break that giant doc down into manageable subtasks, and just start shipping. You just sit back in plan mode, review each step, hit tab, and execute. And Workflow 3, honestly, this might be my absolute favorite. Automating massive refactors. We are talking about the kind of sweeping architectural change that touches 20 or 30 different modules and used to burn an entire day of your time. The agent searches, plans out the change, applies it everywhere simultaneously, and runs the build to verify. And because of that 1 million token window, it doesn't lose the plot halfway through the refactor like older models used to. So we've seen the raw power of the Flash and Pro models, the safety net of plan versus build modes, the brilliant economics of context caching, and how OpenCode ties the whole shebang together right in your local terminal. You finally get to stop agonizing over what to leave out of your prompt, and you can start thinking about what to actually ask. So I'll leave you with this. With a 1 million token limit running right on your machine, what will you build first? Thanks for joining me on this explainer. Get out there, run /init on your project, and just see the magic for yourself.